Xavier McDaniel and Dale Ellis for the 87 Supersonics, those jerseys. Whew. Do you ever sport a jersey like that, the Supersonics?
I did.
You did? I bet you did.
X-Men Xavier McDaniel, I played with Dale Ellis in Denver.
There you go.
And he did not like when we ran a stack action on the baseline. And he came off a single-double, and I didn't pass him the ball. Oh, he'd give you a death stare.
No death stares right now with regards to the Thunder because things are clicking. This wasn't the case a couple of weeks ago. What's different for this team where they're being successful?
They established a pecking order. Think about what happened this offseason. Chris Paul leaves the Clippers to go play with James Harden. Carmelo Anthony and Paul George do the exact same thing, to play with Russell Westbrook. The difference is Paul George is a free agent after this year, and Melo is going to opt into his $28 million next year. So Russell wants everybody to feel welcome. People feel like, oh, he probably was the reason that KD left. And after they struggled at the beginning of the season, he decided that I need to be aggressive and start playing like the reigning MVP. And that's what he's done. And now all of a sudden, drawing double and triple teams, and his energy, his enthusiasm, and his aggression has now allowed it to be easier for Paul George to find his offense, easier for Carmelo Anthony to step into his role. Now the Thunder have found their stride.
You make it sound easy, but it isn't. But they figured out. We'll see if it has a long-standing effect. Stunning revelation with regards to the first All-Star voting reveal. Giannis is ahead of LeBron James. He's ahead of everybody in the Eastern Conference with regards to vote. What was your reaction? What do you take away from that?
I'm surprised because I've never been a fan of the fans choosing who's going to start in the All-Star game, because here's why. If you can vote more than once, it's not a popularity contest.
Zarian's a ballot stuffer, I know for a fact.
I went to some ballot stuffing parties when I was young for Kelly Tribuca. And he made the All-Star game, and we were so happy about it.
Great socks.
I'm happy for Giannis, however, because his progression as a young player has been terrific. He competes on both ends of the floor. There's at times on defense he can guard 5 positions. While not being a three-point shooter, his aggression, driving to the basket, finishing with both hands has been outstanding. But you know the system is flawed when somebody's getting more votes than LeBron James and Kevin Durant and/or Steph Curry. But I'm happy for Giannis.
I stuffed for Larry Nance once. That was my guy. All right, let's stay in the East. And the Celtics had that marquee win. They got some separation now from the Cavaliers. The Toronto Raptors are in there. But what has stood out? What's that most important piece for the Celtics right now?
The most important piece for the Boston Celtics, and Danny Ainge, if you gave him, Doug Collins taught me this word, some sodium pentothal, that's truth serum, and said, what's the most valuable asset you have with the Boston Celtics? He would say Brad Stevens. Because exactly what we're saying about the Celtics and Kyrie Irving this year, we said about the Celtics and Isaiah Thomas last year when they were the #1 seed that year as well.
Look at that.
Development of young players. Look what we're seeing from Jalen Brown. Tatum. You go to their bench, Rozier, Smart. It is so hard to develop young players into rotation players that you can trust and play quality minutes on a really good team. Brad Stevens has done that in an outstanding fashion.
Brown and Tatum look like they'll be there 10, 15 years. No Gordon Hayward, who he brought in.
Oh, and by the way, who did he coach in college?
Gordon Hayward.
Brad Stevens.
Brad Stevens, there you go. All right, Jalen Rose with some serious knowledge. And